Welcome to the Earth Chronicles. November 18th, 2025. The world is ready to go through a rapid disintegration. It's already disintegrating, but it's obviously going to get much worse. All the players on the chessboard are lining up. Everybody's chosen their enemies. Everybody's stockpile is filled to the rim. And once again, humanity has to endure the obvious conclusion of all this, which is world war, millions dead, and as usual, the profiteers taking what they want. I'm of the conclusion that there's really nothing that can be done at this point. It's not fatalistic, it's just realistic. This is the natural end of a world that is spiritually blind. I'm on YouTube all the time and I see all the news reports and all the commentators and pundits. And it's amazing, the lack of spiritual knowledge is just so in your face, so glaring. And I hardly see any spiritual response to this. We've been backed into a corner. There's been a proliferation of, secularism gone amok, secularism gone to its natural end, which is the maximization of ugliness, where everybody's just after their own interest, and to heck with everybody else. So I'm going to start this. I'm not going to be doing any high quality videos. It's just too late for that kind of stuff. We're at the edge of the abyss. And right now I'm primarily interested in getting those of you who are spiritually advanced to a level of knowledge where you'll be able to deal with what's coming effectively, be able to protect yourself, your family, and have the awareness of the natural result of human behavior in this age, so that you're not surprised, and also get you ready for what is, in my mind, the greatest spectacle in the history of the world. People are just not ready for what's coming. They're not cognizant of who they are, what they're doing here, where they're going, where they come from. They don't know anything about the true history of the world. I do use the Urantia book for a lot of my material. It is a revelation. I've been studying it for 35 years. There isn't a shred of doubt left in my mind, but I can understand how there would be plenty of doubts in other people's minds. If you're of the kind that has to have a holy book guide you, and you believe that you can't think for yourself and you have to listen to a third party, a middleman, a priest or a rabbi or some kind of clergy to tell you the truth, and you have not moved past these olden holy books, so-called, and you don't understand that they were written by men, that these writings were written by a lot of men, some of whom were holy and some who were not so holy, in fact downright evil, and that without the personal understanding, the personal experience that it takes to reach some level of enlightenment where you're able to think for yourself, see for yourself, think for yourself, and have the bravery to trust your own eyes and what the spirit within teaches you, then you're probably not going to be ready for this material. But I cannot be worried about that at this point. It's too late in the game. Those of you who have moved beyond these so-called holy books, those of you who have reached some level of personal experience and are capable of seeing what's going on in the world and understanding that we are at a very critical juncture in human history, to a level where nothing's ever going to be the same in this planet after the events that are sure to come in the near future. Don't worry. Everything's in good hands. I know it doesn't look it. It doesn't seem it. But it's not supposed to look it or seem it. It's supposed to be hidden. It's supposed to be something that you find, that you discover through your own efforts. Here's the thing about the truth, which is very interesting because it's different than any other field. Truth cannot be learned. Truth can only be earned. Truth isn't something that you can pick up a book and understand. It can guide you to some level of recognition where you understand that you have to think for yourself and discover for yourself. But that's where it ends unless you're willing to put in effort and discover the truth for yourself, especially in a world like this where it's so hidden, where there's so many lies, so much deception that's gone on for so many years that people don't even know it exists. You're going to need everything you've got to claim the truth. Truth is not interested in glamorizing itself. Truth doesn't put lipstick on itself. This isn't about marketing. This isn't about reaching as many people as possible, getting as many likes as possible. This is not about subscribers. This is not about some kind of popularity contest. Truth is hidden, and the number of people that are able to discern it, to do some kind of effort to actually own it, to possess it, they're the only ones that are going to get it. And in this world, unfortunately, especially in this generation, that is a very small number. So to those of you who've reached that level, I congratulate you. It couldn't have been easy. You've probably been ostracized by society, maybe even your own family, friends. Because in this world, you have a choice of following money as your God or following your own inner voice, the God within. It's not an easy feat. You should really get a medal for reaching that level. As we continue, I'm going to be recounting world events. We're going to be doing the countdown together, and it's going to head towards the inevitable, which is a visit by a very high being, somebody who was born in heaven, in paradise, that's coming here. I've made videos about this before. I'm not going to go over it again, but just know that something so incredible is about to occur, and we're right at the edge of it, that this world is simply not ready for any part of it. It's not ready for the part where there's going to be somebody from heaven, a physical representative of God's kingdom on this planet in the flesh, talking to you the same way I am. This world is not ready for that. Nobody's ready for that. I'm not even ready for that. Because our world is so lost and so backwards that darkness has become the norm and light has become the exception. They're not ready for that. They're also not ready for the people here that have always been hidden, the rebels, the way they think, the way they operate, who they really are, what they think, what their ideology is, and how they're going to clash with this physical representative and those who follow him. There's going to be a drama unlike anything this world and possibly universe has ever seen. And after 40 years of research and in-depth study, I promise you it's been a grueling journey that has taken me to Some incredible experiences, not all of them pleasant. Most of them actually were quite unpleasant. I've had to dig and claw my way up the ladder to be able to understand these things, to be able to comprehend them in a comprehensive way, and have the ability to express, explain, and possibly educate. But again, truth is not something that can be learned. It can only be earned. Unless you put personal effort into it, these words are never going to mean anything to you. It's just going to go in one ear and out the other, and you're going to get no profit out of it. You might as well go back to your Mickey Mouse show and your liars and thieves and spiritually blind people who are guiding you into this abyss step by step. I really feel so bad and so sorry that I can't help all these millions and billions of innocent people that have been led astray by the selfish people on this planet, and also by the arch rebel who started this confusion and who lives here still today and has a plan of how to meet this heavenly being that's about to come here just before humanity starts to destroy itself. They have a special way of thinking that this world doesn't understand. It is a philosophy. It sounds incredibly similar to the religion of Jesus, the true religion of Jesus, not Christianity. Okay, Christianity was not created by Jesus. Christianity was created by Paul, someone who never even met Jesus, and put a lot of his own biases and spiritual errors into the mold, and has carried forward in the form of Christianity down through the ages. And even though it is the most progressive religion in the world, that's not really saying much, because the rest of them are all stuck in the Stone Age. They still see a God as this malevolent, angry being in space that is throwing thunderbolts and killing and destroying and burning and wishing people to kill each other, acting like, really, what I see as like some kind of a street thug that you'd meet in a street corner. This is their vision of the being, the intelligence that created this universe and runs it and maintains it and controls it. It's so pitiful. It's going to be so embarrassing as we move through time that people are going to look back to our age in the 21st century and see people in full knowledge of scientific facts that either have allowed science to rob them of the recognition that all of this couldn't have created itself. And then you have the religionists who are really not better, possibly even worse, because their vision of God is so backwards and primitive. We're going to be discussing all these things. I'm going to be going through them with you. There's really no way for me to teach this stuff without hitting it from different angles and just being prolific, because you have to see things in a comprehensive way. The truth, I sometimes think of it as the Rubik's Cube. It's a bunch of jumbled colors, and none of it works unless you put all the colors together. And the truth is similar. You have to be able to see it and understand it from different angles. Okay, what does a person do when somebody harms you? Do you strike back? Do you forgive? How do you protect yourself? What kind of a God do you worship? How does that change how you act in the world? And all the different things that come into it, all the different angles. If you get that correct, you can put your life in order, and also at one point, which is coming in the near future, we'll be able to put the world together correctly and make it functional. Right now, it's just a big mass of dysfunction, practically every country, every region, every race, every continent has been taken over by people that really have no business being in charge of other people's lives. And we have reached a point of no return. This is an SOS planet Earth. We're in trouble. We need help. We are no longer capable of creating a collection of people that have the wisdom and the spiritual insight necessary to turn things around. So I'm going to start this with a prayer from God to guide me to be able to help as many of you as I can. And here we go.